Good morning, Natrona County Schools. Welcome to the live show with the Office Shop. We'll just be doing a demo today. I'm Jacob with the Office Shop, and we've got Josh running the cameras. And feel free to ask questions in the live chat as we go through the device. We'll be going over the outside of the device, and then we'll kind of jump into some functions and stuff for you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions as we're going, go ahead and ask them. And at the end of the show, we'll try to answer those for you if you do have any. So we'll go ahead and start with the outside of the machine. We'll start with the dock feeder. Again, guys, everything in the dock feeder goes face up, and then you can adjust your guides from there. There's also fill lines. So you'll see a fill line for 11 by 17 and a fill line for 8.5 by 11. So as you guys put it in, you'll want to put it in face up, and then just adjust, make sure you don't overfill past those guidelines there. And then guys, we'll open the dock feeder here, and I'll show you guys kind of where the slit glass is. This is something you guys will have to clean. What it does is if you guys run sheets through and you end up getting a line through your page, so it'll just be a straight line all the way through the page, that usually means that slit glass is dirty. And it can be on the front side or the back side if you duplex. So if that happens, there's a little rag in the back of your dock feeder as you do that. So, and you open this, there's a slit glass just inside right here, and you'll see it when you open it up, but that is the back side. So that actually scans the back side of the document. So that would be if you're getting a line through the back side. And again, guys, inside here, there's a blue little turn knob. If you guys get anything jammed in the dock feeder, you guys can touch anything that's blue to get that out and pull out a jam if anything like that were to happen. And then again, guys, underneath the dock feeder, this is your slit glass right here. This is another thing you have to wipe off. Just take that rag. If you need to get it a little damp or something, maybe to wipe that down, you can do that. But usually it's just a little ink speck or something, and it'll leave that line through the page. But that's what you'll need to do to get rid of that if you have anything like that. If that doesn't take care of it, go ahead and give us a call. We'll come down and take care of it for you. And maybe it's something else going on too. Next, guys, we'll jump into the finisher. Most of you guys do have the internal finisher in most cases. So some of you do have the external. As far as loading staples and stuff, it's going to be very similar. So we'll go ahead and open that up. And inside here, you'll see your staples, and they just pull out. So this is your staple cartridge unit. And you'll see it's got a little plastic carrying case in here. This whole plastic carrying case actually comes out. So when you guys are replacing your staples, this whole plastic carrying case comes out, and you'll just snap a new one in. And a question I think we kind of had yesterday after the show, somebody's asking about staples, if they're covered under the contract. They are not. Staples are something that you will have to order on your own. So when you call, you just say, hey, I've got machine with your ID number, and we'll talk about that later too. And I just need some staples for my finisher. But they will be billed separately outside of the contract. So, and then this just snaps back in. And again, guys, if you guys get down the road, because those hold 5,000 staples, so when you get down the road and you run out 2 months from now and you forget how to change it, there is directions here on the inside of the panel that'll kind of walk you through changing out your staples as well. So, and then this just slides back in. So next we'll jump into toners. Your toners are right down here. So you've got your black, magenta, cyan, yellow. With these guys, they're on an auger system, so you cannot just open these. They'll open and walk you through the screen, and it'll help you change your toner. But you can't just open them and shake them like you used to and put them back in and get a little extra. There's an actual auger system on them that pushes the toner out. And remember, guys, the black toner ends up being your waste toner. So when you guys change that black toner, you just need to make sure that you take it out and you actually slide it down into this spot. So this is what the actual toner will look like. And it is your black toner. So when you change your black toner, you need to use that empty toner as your waste toner. If for some reason you guys forget, that's okay. We'll get you one shipped out. But that's something you just want to try to remember, is take that black toner that you've used and actually make it your waste toner. So, and again, guys, toners will ship out automatically. At 30%, the toners will show up, and you guys will automatically get those. We can also get meter reads and things like that, so you guys don't have to call on those things like that. They'll just automatically show up, and you don't necessarily need to put them in right away when they show up, because you're still going to have some left on that old toner. It's just kind of preparing you to replace that. Next, guys, we'll jump into the cassettes. The first cassette is a little bit smaller than the other ones just because of the waste toner, but with this drawer you can feed legal and letter, which is nice. So if you grab these little blue tabs, you can slide this over and this actually snaps down, and then you can pull your letter out. If you want to change it to legal, you can do that. So if you have your legal paper, it would just fit right in there, just like that. And guys, remember, always use these blue tabs when you're changing paper sizes. If you don't, the copier will definitely let you know. It'll kind of click and grind a little bit as you change those paper sizes. But again, that first drawer can hold letter and legal. So second cassette, you guys can change this to whatever you want to as well. This will slide all the way back and down again to hold 12 by 18 if you guys wish to feed that. Most common size, you guys probably run more 11 by 17 if you do. But again, you can make this tray whatever size you'd like. And I know most of you guys got the high capacity cassette feeds. So these are the two big trays that come out. They hold 1,500 sheets in each side. I know most of you guys got that on your configuration. So those are both there. Also, some of you got the high capacity cassette that goes off the right side. It's a paper deck. Those will hold 3,000 sheets. They work very similarly as far as the pulling out, loading, that kind of stuff. They're going to be very similar to these. But again, it's just a paper deck. It hangs off of the right side. If you guys have it, you'll definitely know. So, all right, guys, that's our cassettes. Now we'll kind of go through the multi-purpose tray that's over on the right side. When you guys load that, so you'll just flip it down, and then when you guys load it, you're going to get a message on the screen, and it's going to ask you kind of what media is in there. So this is very important. So if you guys go change, let's say you're running labels, envelopes, cardstock, anything outside of the normal. You guys will want to go to that multi-purpose tray selection, and you'll actually want to change the media type. So if you need to change it for, like I said, if it's labels, something like that, you just want to make sure you change it for the reason of that fuser heats up the media that's going through it. So if you're running labels and you leave it on plain paper, it might not come out looking the greatest just because of that fuser temp and actually fusing to the page. So just remember, it's very important that you tell the multi-purpose tray actually what is in the tray so that it can adjust, and you guys can run things through with good quality. So again, guys, that's your multi-purpose tray, and then we'll go through jams as well. So on this right side, we'll go through jams next. If you guys get any jams, this right side doesn't open up. There's just a lever on the top. You guys will pull that open, and you can access the whole side of the device. And again, guys, anything that has a blue tab on it, anything like that is what you guys can touch. So just be careful when you're in there. If you see a jam that's kind of, maybe you're uncomfortable with getting it, or it's jammed in there pretty good, and you don't want to be taking screwdrivers and pliers and things and trying to get in there, just give us a call. We'll show up. We're really close. We're in Casper, so we'll be right there, and we'll come and take care of it for you. There is also another tray down below that goes to the high capacity cassettes. It'll probably also make you open that. If you get a jam up here, usually it'll stop the copy or print job, and it's probably just going to leave a loose piece of paper down here that you'll also have to pull out just to clear those sensors. So be aware of that. As you're removing jams, it's probably going to make you open that tray as well. Anyway, guys, that's the outside of the device. And now we'll kind of dive into a little bit more of functions of the device. So as we jump in here, we'll jump into just copy for now, and then we'll jump into send as well. But as we go into our copy functions, you'll see paper selection is going to be your first button on the top left there. If you select that, you can actually select where you want your paper to pull from. So if you have colored paper, anything like that you're going to copy on or print on, it will be under there, and you can actually select your drawer. Zoom, again, you guys have probably messed with this before, and you're going to see it. You've probably seen more of these features than I have, but anyway, they're there. You guys can blow stuff up, shrink it down, whatever you need to do there. And for you guys that have color machines, your color machines will be set to default black and white, unless you select color. So for you guys that have those color devices, that color selection is right here. I usually go with auto color, just in case there is some black and white sheets within the document. It'll count those as black and white and then count the colors as color. Save a little money there for the color you don't need. So again, there's your duplex. You got your 1 to 2, your 2 to 2, and your 2 to 1. And you guys probably used that before, but again, guys, it's right there on the front page. Combine, that's where you can do your 2 to 1, your 4 to 1. So you guys can shrink 2 pieces of letter size paper down and put them on one sheet. If you guys want to do that, I know like a lot of elementary schools and stuff will use that feature. Next, we jump into our stapling. You guys have corner staple and double staple. So if you guys were to select single staple, it would just staple the top left corner. You guys can actually go more too on that, and you guys can actually select where you want the staple to go. With double stapling, you can select the right side. You can even do the top if you'd like. So you can just select the position you want the staple to be on. And then if you look down below, you'll see some tabs. If you go original paper finishing, some of them are going to repeat. So some of the stuff that you saw on that first page is going to repeat through the functions. So like original size, paper selection, you see that again. Mixed size originals. If you guys do a lot of mixed size originals like letter and legal together, you'll just need to tell it that it's mixed size originals. But you can run them through at the same time, and they're going to come out in that order. So if you have letter, legal, 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 it's going to come out that same way as long as you tell it is mixed originals. Next, guys, orientation. That's just how it's laid on the glass. Offset printing. You guys have that. Stapling again. And then ID cards. If you guys copy any driver's license, any type of ID card like that, you guys have that functionality right there, and it would copy the top and the bottom. And you actually lay it in the same spot in the glass. It's going to scan the front of the card, and then you'll flip it over in the same area, and it'll scan the back of the card, and it'll print out on the page, top and bottom. Color image quality. This is more for you guys that have the color devices, but there's a lot of options in here as far as adjusting color. Hue adjustment, saturation, and that's stuff that you guys can kind of mess with. If you want to adjust any colors, a lot of people don't mess with that, but if you guys choose to do a picture or something and you want to make some adjustments, you can. Layout, again, there's your zoom. You can adjust some margin, borders. There's your duplex, page numbering, covers, things like that. There is a lot of options. Stamps, memo page. But in that layout mode, there's a lot of options too that you guys can mess with and go through. Continuous copy. If you guys have some big stacks and you're feeding them through, you can continue feeding until you're completely done. So the copier, after you feed through, the copier is going to think there's more after. So it's going to ask you, you can scan pictures on the glass if you need to scan those into the document. And then as it's done, you can print out the whole document at one time. Mirror imaging. These are things, some of these skip blank pages is a big one. So if you guys run, let's say, a double-sided document, and sometimes you always get that blank page on the back. Within that document, there can be a lot of blanks within that document. It's actually going to skip that blank and just go to the next page. So any blank that is in there, it's going to take it and it'll just take it out of there for you, out of the document. So program, this is where you guys can actually set up one-touches, basically. So if you guys have a job that you run all the time and you use certain settings with that job, you guys can actually, after you set all the settings up, you can go to program and you can actually add that to this list. And then you just select 8 and you would actually edit it, and you can actually name it the job and everything as well. So, and then home, guys, always takes you back to your home screen. But guys, that's copy. If you guys have any questions on that or any of the settings, just let us know. But right now we'll jump into send. I know that's a big one for you guys. We'll jump into address books and adding one-touches. So address book, you guys will go into there. Each school will have their own address book from the Active Directory. So it'll actually pull in your emails that you guys have from your Active Directory into the address book. To do that, you guys will select address book at the top and you'll go extension address book. And then you're going to get this page. From this page, just hit OK. It'll do a search. It'll actually find your guys' address book for your specific school. So when you get there, you'll just highlight that and you'll say OK, and there's actually a button above OK that says add to machine address book. So it's going to add that whole Active Directory list to your address book, which I would recommend doing. It'll always be there. So then you guys hit OK. Then when you guys are done with that and you guys want to add one-touches and those types of things, maybe for those people that are in the office, most of the time you'll want to go add and edit address book, and there's your one-touch keys right there. So you'll say add and edit, and you'll select 3 if that spot's open, and then you go add and edit, and you'll actually name that button, and then you'll select the destination for that button. And if you pulled that list from your Active Directory, when you select that, your name will show up in this list. You just select your email and you'd hit OK. And then when you're all done, it's actually going to show up in that one-touch list right there, guys. And if we back all the way out of here, let's say we back all the way out, go back to home, your one-touch list is going to be right along here. So you guys will be able to see your one-touch list for you, those of you that scan a lot. Devin and I have our names in there already. So that's how it would kind of show up in that one-touch list. It would be right there. For you that are going to be maybe in the office that do more scanning than most, you'll want them close. So that's the scanning, guys, how to put your address book in and do the one-touches. And then there is some functions with scanning as well, and it's going to be very similar to the copy functions. So when you guys get in here, quick setup, you're going to see color select. So you can scan color. Even you guys that have black and white devices out there, you will have color scan capability. So when you do that, when you email to yourself, you can scan color. Scan resolution, if you guys need to adjust that to get a better picture or something like that, you guys do have resolution adjustment. Density, again, you have that with your copy just like you do your scan. If you need to make it a darker scan, you can do that. Two-sided, again, that's on your copy screen. Continuous scan, if you guys need to do that. In the bottom right corner here, that is your formats. So you got PDF, TIFF, JPEG. If you go in there, you'll actually see the formats, and then you can actually adjust low to high quality scans if you guys need to do any of that. And then you got your tabs down below if you guys just go through those. There's your mixed originals again, and then original size, your formats, everything that was kind of on that front page is going to be, you're going to be going through it again as you go through the list. Long original, that's if you need to feed something long through the dock feeder. It can go up to, I believe, 28 inches it can scan through the dock feeder. So if you guys have a longer document out there, you can actually scan that. There's your image quality again, very similar to what's on the copy side of it, but you guys can adjust that image quality as far as the scan goes as well. Advanced setup, You've got your zoom, border erase, centering if you need to center something. Continuous scan, again, it's just like continuous copy. You just keep scanning documents, and then as you're all done scanning, you would actually send that scan job at the end. You can name the file before you send it if you want from here. Send and store, that would actually be here as well. Skip blank pages, it's actually in the scanning too, guys. So if you are scanning a big document with those blank pages in there, you know, if those double-sided have blank pages on the back on some of them, it'll just get rid of all of those blank pages for you. Again, you've got program at the end, so you can program if you do scans a certain way all the time. You'll have you can add a one-touch for that document after you have set all the way you want it to scan up. You can actually add a one-touch to box 8, add it, and then every time you come to do that document, you just go to program, hit 8, and all those settings will come up, just like your copy screen. And then home, again, always takes you back to this home screen. Job box, we'll kind of go through, I'll kind of go touch on job box and USB drive a little bit. Job box, that's where you can actually save documents in the machine itself. So if you guys have forms at that front office, stuff like that in the main office of the school districts, I know you guys will probably have a lot of forms that parents fill out or parents sign. Instead of digging it out of a filing cabinet, you might put it in job box so that that form is there all the time. USB, you guys can print to and scan to, or print from and scan to a USB drive. That USB drive is located right over here on the side of the machine. So you guys will just put the USB in, and then you guys can print any document that's on your jump drive, or you can scan to the jump drive with anything you guys need. Again, guys, that's kind of the basic functions of the device. And we've kind of gone through the outside. I do want to touch on the ID sticker here. If you guys look at that, it's got our phone number on the front, and it has a machine ID. That machine, when you guys call in, that machine device ID is very important. So you'll want to have that when you call in. It's just going to be 4 digits. So you'd say 6301. That's going to give us the location and the history of that device. So we'll be able to see everything that we've sent to that device. That means toners, everything, every part we've put in that machine, we'll be able to tell from that machine ID. So that's important for our dispatcher. When she sends out a tech, he can actually pull that, see the location, and actually see what's been done on that. So other than that, guys, that's kind of all we had. If you guys had any questions, we'll do our best to answer those. But other than that, we'll let you guys get back to work. And good luck this school season. Guys, I did want to mention one last thing. Our YouTube videos. If you get on YouTube and go to Office Shop Inc., there's YouTube videos there. These demos will be on there, and we're actually going to add more demos later for certain things. So if there's certain things maybe you guys want to see, just let us know. We can add those demos, but we can get maybe more in depth with some of the settings too on some of those demos for you guys as far as usage and stuff like that. So again, if you guys want to see more demos, let us know, and we can get them up there for you. So thanks, guys. Have a good school year.